from Deposit, New York, it's the A2Z Program with your host, Arick and Tim. Tonight, Arick reassembles the cast of BJ and the Bear. His Holiness the Pope will be on a Zoom with us. And the soothing sounds of the Wonder Pets. All this tonight. I'm Tim Tabala. Here's your host, Arick.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the A2Z program. As you know, this is Tim Tabala, your host, your announcer, the greatest single announcing co-host / hetero life mate that anyone could ask for. And I am Arick Zant, the host of the A2Z program. Welcome tonight. It is Friday night. It is 8:30-ish. And if, as you know us, it is time to party. We're here, and Tim, this is episode 49 of the A2Z program. You know what that means, don't you? You know what that means?
The next one's pretty big.
That means in 2 weeks, Tim, 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, not next Friday, the Friday after, we will be having the grand, momentous, stupendous, gigantic 50th A2Z program. Yes, that's right. You stuck with us through 50 episodes. I'm here for 50 episodes. Learn it, like it, love it. I'm just trying to throw that in to see if it'll catch anywhere. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 50th episode that's coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to have, listen, you're not going to want to miss this. You are definitely not going to want to miss this. We are going to have games. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have quizzes. There's going to be guests popping in and out all night. It is going to be the Arick extravaganza of a lifetime. And you are not going to want to. And Tim, I heard rumor. Tell me if this is true or not. I heard rumor that you were going to resurrect the ghost of Ed Koch to join us live. Is that true? Am I hearing things?
That's true. I'm working on it. I talked to a few Indian shaman, along with several voodoo experts.
Oh, good.
I don't know what we're bringing back, but we're bringing back something.
Somebody's got, and we're just gonna, as soon as they're here, we're just gonna talk to them. We don't care who they are.
We're already being attacked, Arick.
Oh my God! Of course we are.
It says we 8:35 and 25 seconds. When I come out 8:30, and then here we go. This podcast will be banned for life. Tim called Ari Gold to get a new gig.
Oh well, James Bunker, I do appreciate that. And if you weren't down in South Florida giving everything and even the alligator shoes a bad name, I would acknowledge you. But tonight you acknowledge me. You acknowledge us, because tonight is episode 49. Tonight is the prelude to episode 50. This is episode 50 is going to be so big that we're even giving you a week off in between to warm up to it, because Tim, I don't know why we're not being taken seriously, because we're going to have, I have prizes. I have A2Z program t-shirts on the way. And they're going to green. This isn't an A2Z program, but I have the green A2Zs coming. We're going to be giving them to 4. No, Tim, I don't think 4. You know what? I think we're going to do 5 in honor of Bundy, in honor of the 5-0 episode. We're going to be giving away 5 t-shirts. And there are some people that are missing t-shirts. There is a young lady named Harley who will be getting a pink t-shirt as soon as Jason makes it. And Sam, our buddy Sam, who's playing cards tonight and can't join us, he will be getting a special Pop Culture Pros t-shirt, and it will be personally autographed by yours truly, Mr. Tabala, Mr. Faraci, and whoever else I can get it out by mail and mail back to personalities. He wanted you, me, and Faraci specifically, but we might throw producer Dave in, since he was an early part of everything.
He actually requested our autograph.
He requested. Sam wants a white PCP t-shirt, like the logo up here, a white PCP t-shirt, and he wants me, you, Faraci. Who else did he say he wanted autographed? He wanted us 3, Dave. I think he wants Ed, and he wants Keith. He wants Keith on there.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
So he wants us all autographed, and he's going to hang it up because he's, like I said, Sam is a big supporter of the show. Sam has done a lot for me, and we're gonna do that for Sam. You are not forgotten. You are not either, Harley. You won one of our first quizzes. You requested a pink T-shirt. You will get it now that everything is up and rolling. There's no COVID to stop anything. Even though the trucking fees are getting high, but still, I will make it happen. It's going to happen. Just bear with me. This is all going to happen. Bunker, yeah, I know you're having fun, obviously, and hope you're having one for me. Tim, a few interesting things happened this week, and
Terzio wants one too.
Terzio, you want one, huh? Well, Terzio, if you win the quiz, if you answer one of our questions right, you will get an A to Z Program T-shirt. And I tell you what, Terzio, I will personally autograph it. I will mail it to Tim. Tim will personally autograph it, and then Tim will therein ship it to your house on me. How's that, Terzio? That sound good?
Or I'll just hand it to him because we live in the same city.
Oh, you live right in the same city. So you know what, Terzio? If you're out walking the dog and plotting to have something terrible happen to your ex-wife, do it. Tim will hand it to you. But on that note, Tim, a few minor things happening in pop culture this week. We're still in the midst of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, which is starting to take on a ridiculous life of its own. It's kind of getting a little boring. It's kind of getting overblown. What are your thoughts, real quick, on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Well, how do you feel about this whole thing?
These are my thoughts. Very simple. This goes out directly to Johnny Depp. Bravo, my friend.
Thank you.
I have a whole new level of respect for you. That scumbag lawyer of hers hit you with everything he had, and he just like, nope, whatever.
He didn't even, dude. He didn't even flinch.
Didn't flinch once, and it's about time one of these bitches gets called out for her bullshit and her lies.
Big time.
Thank you, and I am very happy the way this trial is going. It's one of the funniest things I ever saw.
It really is.
She was beating him and shitting on his bed and making false accusations. I mean, he was hated for how he got fired off the. Well, not really fired, but the Pirates of the Caribbean
asked not to come back.
And then they said if he's cleared, he said he wouldn't go back for $300 million. He wouldn't go back.
I don't blame him.
They basically fired him for that bullshit.
I don't blame him.
Harry
Potter, which is a big one.
He's gone out of that too now. I mean, so now he's suing her, and I hope he wins. And I hope he takes every time and donates it to a goddamn charity.
Me too.
It's hysterical.
I hope he donates it to like some irritable bowel society that helps
and I
out.
Hope she gets fired off Aquaman. I hope so.
I think she should. I think she should be blacklisted from Hollywood, to be honest with you, because her intention, while under false pretenses, were to blacklist him. And now she's reaping what she sowed. So, fuck you, Amber Heard. And fuck you for taking down. I mean, I like Johnny Depp, man. I love him. I love me some Captain Jack Sparrow. I love it, man. He was one of my favorite characters of all time. And to take him away from me and to take him away from everyone who adored him, I fucking hope you trip and fall. And I hope nothing happens but like you like break your pinky that makes it annoying for you to pick up things for like a year. I hope that happens. But I don't wish ill will on anybody. We're not here to shame or wish harm on anybody. This is where it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. I could make a joke on that, but I'm not going to. But anyway, Terzio, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Are you going back into the mafia again here? I mean, that's Al Capone in Chicago. That's not New York. So I mean, we need to focus our attention here, like Bergen Fish and Hunt Club. What about hey, what about Nino Gaggi? What about Dominic Montiglio? I mean, hey, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about, Terzio, but unfortunately tonight we are not talking about the mafia. Tonight, Tim, we are going to revisit some of the retail throwback companies and stores that you and I grew up with, and some of these are, I would say probably most of these are now defunct, and there are a few that are still lingering, okay? But a lot of these are going to bring back very, very vibrant memories. There'll be some, you're going to remember some smells, you're going to remember some sights, You're probably going to remember going in there with your parents or your grandparents or your aunt and uncle or whoever. Folks, you're really going to have a good time with this tonight because we're going to revisit 20 companies, courtesy of eBaum's World. Put up a great article that we are going to present to you and talk about. Some of these companies, Tim, we grew up with. See, we grew up, Tim, in the awesome '80s, where everything was excessive, everything was thrown in your face, everything was colorful, and you literally did not have to look far to do anything in the '80s. You could go to the mall. You could go to a singular box store. You could go to the movies. You could go, dude. There was so much to do. So many places.
Basically gave birth to the mall.
They basically, they made the mall what it was, the gigantic commerce, giant shopping spectacle that it was. Malls been around since the 50s, but they were not brought to prominence until the 80s when Sears Wish Book, Christmas, the commercials. It was just so much fun going to the mall, and it was so much fun visiting some of these stores. And we are going to talk about these, and we're going to go through them one by one as they appear on my note board here, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this, Tim. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this to the stream. So what this says is 20 throwback companies that I miss more than my ex, and how many people out there are thinking the exact same thing right now? 20 throwback companies that people miss more than my ex. Brief synopsis of what it says. We've all got we've got all the department stores, restaurants, and companies from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. All right, I'll admit it. I love living in the past. Everything, and I mean everything, was better back then. Instead, TikTok, we had Tamagotchis. Instead of Elden Ring, we had Men in Black. Instead of NFTs, we had craft lizards made out of ribbon and beads. Remember them, Tim?
Yes, I do.
And I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think this stuff is lame. You're probably lame. The point is, growing up in the 90s was hands down the best time to be a kid. Whether stealing Tic Tacs from Ames department store or meeting friends after school at Aladdin's Castle arcade in the mall, it was just the best. So thanks to my stellar memory and obsession with nostalgia, I've collected 20 of the coolest, now defunct, so they're all defunct, supposedly, that we wish would make a comeback. And I'm well aware that the reason these companies failed in the first place, this is purely for nostalgia purposes, nothing more. So let's take a walk down memory lane and see how many of these you remember. And Tim, topping the list at number 1 is none other than something that's not loading on my computer. Let's see what we're missing here.
Some kind of technical difficulty.
This is so great. Like I'm just I don't understand what's going on here. I can't get rid of this pop up. I would love to, but I can't. So let's go to number 1 here. What's number 1? What are we doing? What am I? I'm missing something over here, aren't I? Well, you know what, Tim? If all else fails, let's reload the page.
There you go.
If all else fails, let's reload the page. Let's see what's happening here. Throwback companies. There we go. Here we go. Now we got it. There it is, Tim. Ames. Tim, up here, Ames was pretty prominent. There were a lot of Ames at a lot of different locations. There was one up in Oneonta, a couple in Binghamton. Did you have any experience going to these stores?
Only in Binghamton. That's the first and only one I ever saw in my life.
Over on Front Street, right?
Over on Front Street.
Yep. There was actually one on Hooper Road in Endwell, and I believe there was one up in Oneonta. I believe there's one in Oneonta, and I might be wrong. If anybody can correct me on that, I believe there was one up there, but I know there was some down in Pennsylvania. But Ames was one of those, like, it was kind of, does it remind you of, like, the logo remind you of, like, toothpaste? It always did me.
Yeah, the aqua blue sign.
Yeah, I always felt minty when I thought about it. Minty fresh. But Ames was kind of a cool department store. It had basically the same things that like your Walmarts or your Targets or your Kmarts had, but they had their own brands and they had some different stuff. Like a lot of people don't realize that like everybody thinks in this action figure collecting world now that there's only exclusives at Target or Walmart. But no, Ames used to have exclusive stuff that they never really broadcast. There were like after a while you would say only of it like if you looked up in the Toy Fair Wizard magazine, remember that Toy Fair? Mm-hmm. Oh, what a great magazine. But it would say it was a good one. It would say exclusive only at Ames or exclusive only at Hills or exclusive only at KB. And like Ames is one of those stores where you could go and find that obscure like wrestler or that obscure GI Joe. And this one, Tim, didn't really have like a smell. Like, and I know I keep saying that, but like, am I wrong in saying that some of these retail outlets had a distinct smell to them? Like, not a bad one, but you could always know where you were when you walked in. It's like, oh, I can
Yeah, it's
smell.
true. Yeah, different stores always have different triggers.
They yeah, it was so great. But that's Ames. Ames, like I said, was a minor.
Jeremiah just put. That's how I remember it because it was next to the starter store, right? And
Yeah.
and then that became Champion, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep. And then there was a wasn't there a go-kart track over there too or something like
And now
something like that.
Now it's probably a place for the kids practice drive-bys.
I think well it could be, but I think it's actually the Touch of Texas again. I think they've moved that Touch of Texas over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's where that is now. But moving on from Ames, next on our list we have Tim, one of our favorites, Blockbuster.
Dude, I miss Blockbuster. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you go there a lot?
Yes, constantly.
I believe there was a Blockbuster over on the south side of Binghamton. I think it was, I can't remember what the name of the street is over there, but it's by where the Taz is. Pennsylvania Avenue. Pennsylvania Avenue. It was over near Penn Ave. It's now a Sweet Frog, I believe, and it's next to Thirsty's, the infamous bar over there. But Blockbuster was tell me, Tim, could you watch any TV show in the 90s without seeing a Blockbuster ad?
Nope.
It was all over the place.
Halloween had the special commercials.
Halloween
had
did
special commercials. Then if Batman came out, they had a Batman commercial. Shit like that. It was so great.
It smelled like videotape plastic and popcorn when you went in there.
Popcorn and candy. It was great.
Oh, dude, it was so awesome. You could get like your lemon heads and your microwave popcorn, and some of them had a popcorn machine too. And but Blockbuster was cool. I only got to go there maybe a handful of times because we had all the mom and pops video stores around here. But Blockbuster was always like a treat because it's like, you had to get a movie. Like if you lived out here where we did, you had to get a movie you liked and you had to rent it a couple days because you didn't know if you were going to make it back there in time because it's, a 40-minute drive. But Blockbuster's cool. There's actually, and you've probably seen it, Tim, there's actually a really cool documentary on Netflix about there's one Blockbuster left, and I believe it's
the last Blockbuster. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's in Washington, I believe. Washington or Oregon? No, Alaska. Is it Alaska? I think it's in Anchorage.
I don't remember where it was.
It's up in the corner of Abominable Snowmen of America, somewhere up there. And it's a pretty cool. They actually still, what's cool about that is that the lady that runs it says that she has like computer systems from all different Blockbusters all over the country. And when one of the systems starts to go down, she grabs like another tower or board and replaces it. And she just keeps replacing them until she can't replace them anymore. Because I guess they can't be fixed.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting, I don't know the name right off the bat of what the documentary is, but it's really cool. And,
I think it's called The Last Blockbuster.
Is it called The Last Blockbuster?
I believe so.
Well, that's well worth a look up. And if somebody really wants some valuable nostalgic entertainment, please look that up. It's a great watch. But Tim, Blockbuster was notorious because they were one of the first to offer, like, I'll throw an example out, like Video King. You'd go to Video King and you'd say you wanted to rent like Batman and Robin. They'd have like one or two copies of it, and then you'd keep going there and put your name on a list, and then you'd eventually get it. Blockbuster used to get like 20 copies.
Yep.
So nobody would go without seeing anything, and it was so cool. Cool.
But on those bad times when you couldn't get one, it was frustrating.
It was really frustrating.
How do I not have 20 copies? How did I not get one?
Exactly. And they were notorious too for introducing the gaming rental, right? They used to rent Nintendo games, Sega games. Oh, yeah. It was so cool. I actually think I rented Tecmo. I have a throwback. It's not a Nintendo, but it plays Nintendo and Super Nintendo both. I have like a throwback console that plays both cartridges. And I actually bought Tecmo Super Bowl because that's one of my favorites because it has all the stats. and it has like QB Eagles for Randall Cunningham. That's basically why I bought it. But you can play a whole season and stuff. But I remember renting it from Blockbuster because I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Yep.
But yeah, I rented that off Blockbuster. What else? What else about Blockbuster, Tim? What's some more cool stuff? You visited it more, so you
I was all about the candy and
the candy.
the microwave popcorn. They had really good popcorn there when you used to buy it.
What was it? Was it Jolly Time or Act 3?
Act 3.
Act 3. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
The little bucket. It wasn't a bag. It was that little bucket that blew up.
Right.
Remember that?
That's right.
It wasn't no bag. It was a whole freaking bucket.
It was a whole bucket. And for some reason, am I wrong in remembering that? For some reason, like you would buy microwave popcorn at the store, but this popcorn for some reason really tasted like movie theater butter.
Yes.
More so than yeah.
So they made a point to say movie theater butter, extra butter, that kind of bullshit. So it was worth it.
It was so cool, man. It was so cool. And and kids nowadays, because they have all these streaming services, don't know the thrill of actually having, building up the anticipation to go, and like you're sitting there at school like, oh man, my mom's going to take me to Blockbuster tonight. I really want to rent Super Mario, or I really want to get this. Kids nowadays just like, I can go home, do this, but then they'll text their friend, and then they'll play the game and text their friend. Like
my other favorite thing was, don't forget, after the movie became kind of old, they used to sell half the extra copies.
That's right, they did.
You could buy these movies for $4, $5. They always had a big bin right when you walked in. For
That's
sale,
right.
$5. I bought so many used tapes and shit, and even DVDs in the beginning for $5, $4.
What about VHS tapes, man? Like, there's a whole generation now, Tim, and we're not really that old. There's a whole generation of children that don't even know what a VHS is or a VCR.
If I gave my son a VHS tape, he wouldn't know what to do with it. He wouldn't know what it is.
Lauren has some VHS tapes that she has on our bookshelf here, our movie shelf. And Nick the other day was looking through them. He pulls this thing out. He goes, "What's this? Is this some kind of weird book?" And I said, "No, it's a VHS tape." He goes, "What's a VHS tape?" I said, "Dude, a VCR, dude. You didn't." I just didn't have the patience nor the wherewithal to sit there and explain to him what it was. I just said, "Dude, it's before your time. Don't." But of course, my son Elijah, the sponge, he, and it's so sweet how he explained it. He just said, "Well, Nick, they're a video cassette that people used to watch, like old people, like Dad." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That explains the whole thing."
The only ones I have left I have all my Star Wars ones. I have the originals.
I did too, Tim. I had the ones that had
if it was in perfect shape, it's worth a couple $1,000s. I have that set, but they're a little wrinkly here and there. Plus, I wouldn't sell them anyway because they're Star Wars. So,
Tim, I had two of them. One was not even open with the plastic, and the other one I watched. I had two of them.
They're over here somewhere. I don't know how the hell they are.
And I fucking got rid of them, dude. Like an asshole. But that's Blockbuster. We could go on all night about Blockbuster because it was such a fun, cool place, and it really brings out a time, place, and emotion. But next on our list, Tim, is a mall staple. A lot of times you would go in the mall through stores, and this was one of the main stores that you would enter a mall in, specifically the Oakdale Mall, because a lot of people parked over there. The Bon-Ton, Tim. What are your? Do you remember the Bon-Ton?
I remember that fucking store.
Did you shop there?
Never bought an item of clothing from that place.
Never bought anything from the Bon-Ton. Nope. I didn't either. Oh, Carolyn, put up Carolyn's up. And hello, Carolyn. Thanks for joining us again. Carolyn said actually the last Blockbuster is in Oregon. Okay,
Oregon.
So I was in the right spot. I was in the Pacific Northwest. But Terzio, no, we're not going. This isn't the history of video cassette recording. We're not talking about beta. I mean, Terzio, come on, man. Like, Rusty Staub doesn't manage the Mets anymore. Let's get over it. And I'm just poking at you, Terzio. Don't get butthurt over any of that. But anyway, the Bon-Ton, Tim. I remember, of course, you remember the Oakdale Mall. Were you one of those people? Like, did Ron park like out by the Bon-Ton and you guys go in that way?
Yep, most of the time.
It just seems like everybody did that. Like, I rarely went around to the other side of the mall where another store that's on our list that I won't name yet was. It's now a Burlington, but it was a different name. I never went to that side, nor did I go like to the Sears side or even to the Macy's or Kaufman side, which before that was another store that also made our list. There's two stores. Well, what do they call them, Tim? Mall anchors.
The anchor?
Mall anchor. The anchor of a mall. Those big box stores they called an anchor because it was one of the main stores that would bring business in. Quick shout out. He's not exactly a friend of mine, but I follow him. It's Ace's Adventures. And Tim, you know how I am with these dead malls. I love dead malls. I've loved dead malls for years and years and years. And I've followed many, many different sites. And now, of course, in the advent of social media, I follow a lot of pages of dead malls. And Ace's Adventures, this guy from Buffalo actually goes around the country, even like to Mexico. And he goes to these dying malls and records it, which a lot of people do, you know, because it's a very big trend on social media now. But he actually goes to a lot. He went to the Oakdale Mall actually, and so did Dan Bell. Dan Bell went there too. He's another big dead mall guy. But it was really cool. He visited the Steamtown Mall, and they both visited the Oakdale Mall, and it was really neat walking through it, watching these guys actually in your backyard.
Oakdale's still going though, right? It's just not.
It's
going, but it's on its last leg, maybe.
You know what? It's kind of on life support, and it has been for years. Like it's kind of like it's dying, but not dead. It's like in like intensive care, maybe, because like there's still like a Burlington. There's still Sears.
That's where everybody from Deposit and every surrounding town got the tuxes for their fucking proms.
They went to that whatever the hell that place was up by Sears. Yeah, the tuxedo place. Yeah, dude, that mall was a congregation center for, like you said, every small town, whether it be Deposit, Windsor, Hancock, Afton, Bainbridge, and if you go down into Pennsylvania, like Storuca or like Susquehanna, or even like out the other way, Owego and Newark Valley, everybody. That was the common thing where you met everybody from everywhere different was the Oakdale Mall. And the Bonton was specific in being one of the giant anchors. And that had a distinct smell to it, too. It kind of smelled like a little higher class place to buy your, like you'd smell the perfume counter. You'd smell like the nylon when you walked in and like whatever they used on the floors. It was really cool. It was really cool. Bonton was, I mean, that's a staple of our. It's a memory. You know, it's ingrained in our it's pop culture. It really is.
And we said it last time too. How every time you went there, you saw somebody you knew.
You saw somebody you knew. Yeah.
So the last time I think when the first time I went there and didn't see someone I knew, I was really depressed.
At the Oakdale Mall.
Yeah, I was like, it's the first time ever.
Oh, really?
I think the one time it came close, I'm like, wow, I didn't see nobody I know. And as I'm walking out, George Palumsher walked in. I said, yes, somebody I know.
Somebody you know.
The record kept going. But the last couple times I went, nope, nobody.
I think there's like a Cinnabon. There's a shoe department. There's, like I said, Burlington. Oh, JCPenney's still there. JCPenney's still there. And all the little gimmicky stores that are still around, like Journeys and what the hell is that? Spencer's is still there. Claire's is still there, I think. Last I knew. But the Oakdale's it's intensive care, but it gets out and walks a little bit, so it's okay.
Spencer's was our number one destination.
Yep, Spencer's, and I like going to of course GNC. It's not there anymore. They took that out. I like going to KB, dude. KB Toys is where I always like to go. But anyway, that's the Bonton. That's the third on our list. The fourth, Tim, I don't know much about this. I know there was one over in Vestal.
Wait a minute. What the hell was the Bonton? Clothes?
Yeah, it was a clothing outlet. Yeah, it had like clothes, scent, men's and women's apparel, kids apparel. And every now and then, you know how those big stores would have, like, you'd have like chairs, like just small, like maybe like deck chairs or like fold out chairs. But they would mainly have they had apparel for all occasion. They had business, pleasure. They themed it very nicely, and it was fucking huge. Like
They
the
used to
women's,
win that entrance, but I didn't remember what the hell was in there.
yeah, it was just closed. But Tim, what about this Discovery Zone? I remember there was one in Vestal, and it looks like a kids' play place. But I didn't have kids back then, and I never took them to them. Do you know much about this?
Discovery Zone was like the first when you took your kids, you started having your kids parties there. It was easy
Okay,
it was easy in one place. They served you pizza. You go in the zone for a few hours. They got video games. Everything.
oh,
It was like a bigger Chuck E. Cheese, a
but
better
not
Chuck E. Cheese.
not with the animatronics and
No,
fucked up like
no,
nightmare shit.
no, none of that stuff.
Okay, but I think there was one in Vestal. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there was. What way? Raul's got a nice. What's Raul saying here? He says that I remember the big shopping center in Herald Square. They had 9 floors of retail, and it's now under construction and turned some floors into office space. Raul, that is exactly what they're doing to the Oakdale Mall. They have professional wrestling there, Tim. That's where that Excite Wrestling is, I believe.
Yeah, I remember you
But
telling me about that.
but I believe that they have turned a lot into office space. I believe they've turned a lot into. I think there's like a Lord's medical center there. Like I said, there was a comic book shop there. I don't know if that's even there anymore, but it's kicking a little. Like there's a Subway, there's a Cinnabon, there's no McDonald's, there's no uh, Burger King, anything like that anymore. So, and by the way, did you share the show out?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay, thank you, Tim.
You know I got you back.
I know you got. I don't even know why. Why did I? You know what? That's 2 points deducted from Gryffindor for me for even having to ask that. But yeah, Discovery Zone, dude. Like I remember it because obviously that's a '90s theme right there.
You remember the commercials? I remember the commercials all the time too.
Kind of. They were real '90s, right? Like they were all like zigzaggy and squiggly and
of course, neon pants, Zubaz pants, and
the Zubaz pants,
all that shit.
You know what I always think of when I think of Zubaz pants? I think of like Terry Raymond, Lenny Markham, Coach O'Connell, and Hovansik. All like I have this fantasy of them all like hanging out, like at some like batting cages and in their Zubaz and like sitting there talking about coaching and stuff. I just had this like weird fantasy of that all the time. I don't know why, but anyway, that was number 4. Number 5, Tim, is actually still around. Boscov's, there is one in downtown Binghamton. There's one in Scranton. There's one down in York, Pennsylvania. So Boscov's is not defunct, but it is not as vibrant as it used to be. And of course, Tim, with the Boscov's in Binghamton, you've probably been many times. I bet you Aunt Ellie was a prolific shopper of that. My mother was. Discount clothes. They offered a nice, and it's nice because it's a downtown like inner city establishment that you can just walk into. Remember the multiple levels? They had like the toy department. They had the men's, the women's, the children's, sporting goods, recreation stuff. Like back in the day, dude, it was a big fucking deal. Like Boscov's was a big fucking deal. And it's still there, and it's still going. And like I said, I believe there's still one in Scranton. I know there's one in York because when Smitty and I used to go to York, Pennsylvania, they had one in the York Galleria Mall. But do you remember and Boscov's had like that candy / like nylon smell to it when you went into almost, and a little bit of like Binghamton sewer kind of thing.
Sewer?
Yeah, you remember that? Like, or maybe the Susquehanna River.
I don't think I've ever been in there before.
You've never been into Boscov's?
I don't think so.
You know what, Tim? Wait a minute. I swear that me and you and Ron and Strauss or Thomas went there once. I swear we did. Because I went on a few Binghamton trips with you guys. And I swear I know we went to the mall 100 times.
I'm not saying I haven't. I'm just saying.
You don't remember.
I don't remember.
I almost think that I know me, you, Ron, and it's either Tom or Strauss went to Boscov's once. I just remember you and Ron and me, and like I said, it was either Strauss or Tom, or maybe both. I would say more likely Tom, because Strauss was always wrapped up with a GF. But yeah, I don't want to out him or get. Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. He was, Strauss always had a woman and was always, he was attached at the hip
He was in
to
play.
he was.
That's what we
He
said.
was in play. There we go. You know what? I got to get hip with the new. But yeah, no, Boscov's is cool. You can still visit it. You can still go there. Downtown Binghamton. It's pretty nostalgic if you go there. At the Manhattan Mall. Does that mean Raoul, the Manhattan Mall? Blah blah blah. Raoul, does that mean that that's what it was, or there was a Boscov's there? Any of you guys in the sidebar? Do you guys remember Boscov's? If you do, let Tim and I know. That's kind of cool. The Manhattan Mall. I don't know that one. Do you know that one?
Herald Square Roll was cool, and they shut that shit down. Right? The whole thing is shut down.
He said something about Office Space, so I wonder.
Yeah, that sucked. That was a pretty cool place.
Was it? I'd never been there. I'd never been to the.
Mall was pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. Was the Manhattan Mall like kind of ritzy, or was it pretty Times Square-ish, slummy?
No, it had like your KB toy store and your a lot of restaurants and your sports store and stuff like that.
Tim, back to the Oakdale Mall. I don't think even Ruby Tuesday is at the Oakdale Mall anymore. I believe
what about, Friendly's?
Friendly's is closed too.
Wow, that sucks.
Also, I think Arby's is still there. I forgot about that.
For the cheap Sundays. It was awesome.
The cheap Sundays. I don't think there are many Friendlies left anywhere anymore, dude. Like there might be one, and Lauren might correct me if I'm wrong. There might be one in Johnson City there still, a Friendlies. Is that still operational? Do you know? You're looking at me like I'm at Ross Park.
Last I knew, a couple years ago it was. Now I have no idea.
Okay, she knew a couple years ago it definitely was, but who knows with COVID if they reopened or not. But we'll get to the bottom of that for you. Tim, are you ready for number 6?
I'm ready, man. But that COVID's a bitch.
COVID
shut down so much stuff.
There's
so many places that you forget, and then you go there. You're like, oh, let me go check this out. No, closed. Never reopened.
Never reopened because COVID ruined it. And I honestly think now, if they were a little more proactive with this whole thing, I believe a lot of these places could have been saved. That's just my opinion, and I'm not an economist, nor am I a virologist, and I'm not going to claim to be, but I'm wicked smart. Anyway, number 6, Tim, are you ready for this?
Tell me.
Number 6 is Borders. Do you remember Borders?
Yes, I love Borders.
Now, are there still Borders down in the city or no?
No, there's barely any bookstores ever. I think there's only like one bookstore left.
Yeah.
One Barnes and Noble, I believe.
One Barnes and Noble down in the city, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember last time I saw a bookstore.
I know that there is a Barnes and Noble in Vestal still in the town square. There used to be a Walden Books in the mall, if you remember. That was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. And but Borders, there were never a Borders, I don't think, in Binghamton at all. And if there were, I was unaware of it. But I have been to Borders, and you want to know where I was in Borders, dude? Down in Manhattan, because there was one down in off Town Square, I believe.
Yep.
Or Town Square, Times Square.
Square.
Yep. And that's the only one I remember going into. Now, was this something that you went to a lot, or?
Yes, Borders was great. Borders. Well, I mean, I at least love all those bookstores, man. They don't have those anymore.
No.
No bookstores are around anymore. But Borders was cool. They had music. Weren't they the first one to have the music also?
I think so. I think they did.
They had a cafe.
Yep. You get like a coffee or whatever you wanted to get, or
they were more loose with you sitting there reading their books.
Mm-hmm.
And Barnes and Noble got they were uppity, but then they like, oh well, fuck it. If Borders is doing it, we'll have to let them read their books. I know a lot of people who used to read the book and put it right back on the shelf.
Yeah, dude, I'm guilty of that at Barnes and Noble. I used to read 3-4 chapters of a book and put it back. I honestly did that, and I probably still would if I went there. And I haven't been to Barnes and Noble in probably I'm going to say at least 8 or 9 years, and I really want to go back because I used to like I like to gallivant, as you know, and I don't get a chance to actually gallivant as much as I used to. But on one of these little trips that Lauren and I take, I think to Binghamton, I think I'm going to make her just hop around, and we're going to go revisit some of these stores. But no, Barnes and Noble, like you just said, I think they picked up on Borders the way they did things with the music. Because I remember the small Barnes and Noble that was in the mall did not have music at all. They just had books, and as soon as the other one opened up, they had fucking everything. They had a Starbucks in there, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they had a Starbucks in Barnes & Noble, which I still think they do.
I thought Barnes & Noble bought Borders.
They bought Walden Books, I know. Maybe they did buy Borders too. Lauren thinks that Barnes & Noble bought Borders out.
Maybe.
We're gonna have to. I don't think you're wrong. I know they bought Walden Books, but we're gonna have to do some research on that. But at any rate, Tim, you made the point on a very, very important one earlier that, you know, it was just fun to go into these places like these bookstores and, you know, read a magazine, read a comic book, hang out for a while. Just like you'd be so like overstimulated looking at all this stuff, and then it's like you know, you put it back and you walk away. But it was cool just to hang out and do that, you know.
Yeah, it was a good place to just chill out.
Yeah. You want to take a break from walking around the mall. I don't know. Like, I like comic books. I've collected comics for years. Sometimes I would find like an old issue that I didn't have, and I'd snag it, or a graphic novel. They had a lot of graphic novels.
Yep.
Carolyn says that Barnes and Noble still have Starbucks in them. I believe the one by me still, or in Vestal, still does. Barnes and Noble by you, Carolyn. Tell us where you are, and then we'll know where you are. There's a Barnes and Noble by me. But yeah, these things were great, dude. But Tim, we're going to cross the border, and we're going to go
Good segue.
Good segue. We're going to go to number 7, and number 7 is, without further ado, Chi-Chi's. Oh,
Chi-Chi's is gone?
Chi-Chi's is gone, dude. Well, Chi-Chi's, I believe you can still buy their products in the store. Okay, they have salsa, they have wraps, which is like burritos and soft shell or soft tortillas. But I do not believe there are Chi-Chi's restaurants anymore. Now, Tim, tell me right now, where do you remember seeing Chi-Chi's? Your most vibrant memory, where is Chi-Chi's?
I want to say Florida is the only place I really remember seeing one.
You don't remember Johnson City, dude? Right over there by the mall?
Or right across the street.
Right across the street, dude.
That's right. That was a Chi-Chi's.
That was a Chi-Chi's, and dude, oh my God, I would go there with like
never been there. Never been there.
No, dude, I would go there. So a guy, and his name is actually Guy. Guy Scott from town managed Chi-Chi's, and Bergman and Brett Linkram actually worked there for a while. And I remember that because one day I was having dinner in there with can't remember with who. But Bergman came out. He's like, I didn't know. I should have told me you were coming. And like he fucking filled my plate up. Like, he covered the rice up, and he gave me like 3 extra like chimichangas and shit. It was great.
It's always good to have a hookup in a restaurant.
It is always good to have a hookup at a restaurant. And Guy Scott, who lives around the corner from me, who now manages the TGI Fridays over in Vestal, he used to manage the Chi-Chi's. And boy, I tell you, it was always busy, dude. Like, it was always a 20-minute wait to get in there, but it was so worth it, dude. The chimichangas were so good.
I never ate there, and
you never ate there, huh?
Now that you bring it up, I do remember right across the street from the mall, but never went in there.
Dude, there was something about Chi-Chi's nacho chips, like they were just salty enough, and they tasted so good, and you could tell they were made fresh because they were still a little greasy but crunchy, and that's my favorite kind of nacho, man. But I didn't drink too much alcohol there. I had some of the tall beers, but I remember they had banging margaritas. Like, they were one of the first ones I remember that had like the different kinds of margaritas, like a blue one or a red one or whatever. Because I remember Joe Esteves and I went there once, and he got this giant beer that was like fucking like a yard, and I said to him, I said, that looks like a big glass of piss. And then the next thing we know, the people behind us said, can we move to another table? It was so great. Joe was drunk. It was awesome. I probably was too. But yeah,
by your piss comment.
They were offended by the piss comment. And you know what was cool about Chi-Chi's? It was very authentic. It was very Mexican. Like, it was like being in one of those like adobe houses. Like it looks right there. Like it was really cool. You know, it was all minus like getting mugged by the cartel when you walk out. You know what I mean? So that's the only drawback of Chi-Chi's. But yeah, Chi-Chi's was fun, dude. Chi-Chi's was good. Lauren, did you ever eat at Chi-Chi's?
Yeah, one
Once she did.
Never been there. I wish I
Never
would.
been there. Well, Tim, I don't know what's coming up for number 8, but I'm sure willing to find out. Are you?
I hope you have
What are you hoping for?
my favorite place on the list.
Okay, you're hoping it's going to come up when he's. Are you leaving? Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry to bother you. So anyway, Tim, here's number 8, and it is EB Games. Now, what the hell is that?
EB is it was like GameStop before GameStop.
That's what it was before GameStop. I kind of remember it. What do you know about this?
Oh, it was just another GameStop, really.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't really anything too special.
Okay. Now it's same as GameStop. They had the video games, the consoles, the little electronic components that would.
I don't know if you could do the whole trade-in thing.
Right.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I kind of remember it being sort of like that. I think there was one in the mall.
There was one in the mall.
There was one in the mall. So that's definitely where I've definitely been in there then, because I want to say that I bought NHL 99 there on the PlayStation.
Ooh, nice.
I almost want to say that. Dude, that was a great game, by the way.
It was a great game.
1999 was a year that a lot of really cool games came out, like NHL 99, Knockout Kings. The first one came out.
Knockout Kings was
Do you remember Knockout Kings?
Dude, the first one, the first two were
First two, yes. They were.
And after that, they fucked with the controls, and it got really bad. Dude, I love Knockout Kings.
You did. You remember, like, the first one had, like, Oscar De La Hoya, Butterbean, Rocky Marciano, had everybody, dude, but Tyson. And, but, dude, Knockout Kings, the first one, was one of the greatest games ever. And you could make your own guy, and when you put the right name in, it would, like, make him, like, 8 feet tall, and, like, you could... Dude, it was so much fun. I want to play it now so bad.
I used to play the title all the time.
I did too. I would run through everybody and win the title, then run back through and defend it, dude. It was so great. And remember when you
super fun game.
Remember when you would train and stuff, and it'd show them on the bag or the heavy bag? It was so good, dude.
I missed that game. I tried to play UFC. Which is kind of like the new ring game, whatever it's called. But it's not as good.
Not as good?
Not as good.
Not as good. Okay. So Triple Play 99 was the baseball game that was good, because that was the first one. Maybe it was 98, but 99 perfected the home run derby. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And I used to love doing the home run derby, because back then you still had like Piazza, you still had like you had Jim Thome, you had McGuire, you had Sosa, you had Larry Walker. You had all these guys that were like the power hitters of the 90s. And like, dude, they were still like Strawberry was still there. He still played. It was so much fun, like stacking your home run derby. And then like you could bat as each one of them. And it was so much fun. 1999 was a great place. I'm so glad that this spurred this little quip out of us, this EB Games place.
Quip.
Cool whip?
Cool whip.
What do you mean cool whip?
Cool whip.
Say cool.
Cool.
Say whip.
Whip.
Say cool whip.
Cool whip.
I love it. Oh my God, I love it, dude. It's so great. Well, that being said, Tim, we're moving on to number 9. Any guesses or wishes of what you wish it would be?
I'm hoping A&W is on this list.
They're still around though, dude.
There's not many though. Like you really got to go searching.
There's one in Vestal. You guys should go there. Like Jeremiah, if you're listening, take Tim to A&W on the Vestal Parkway next time you guys are upstate, please. But that is up. It shares a Long John Silver's on the Parkway, right by Red Lobster.
It shares it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's really the only place you can find it now is if it's sharing on some highway somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. But it seems like down by Scranton they have everything, and there's a couple of them down there. But Tim, we are about to unveil number 9. Number 9 on the list is Hill's Department Store.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it.
I never heard of it.
But I've never been in one. And I don't even know where the nearest Hills around here was. I'm going to guess like Syracuse or maybe even New England. Like there, and here we go again. There might have been one in Scranton. I don't know. But here's what I know about Hills. I used to collect the WWF Hasbro figures. Matter of fact, I had all but 2 on the card, and I'm an idiot for getting rid of them because now I could probably not work if I sold them all. I even had Dusty Rhodes on the card, dude. He's worth like $700 alone. Like, anyway, I don't want to think about it because I'm probably going to drink Drano after this. But Hills, I remember because of the Hasbros, because the cool thing about collecting action figures, as you know, is like looking at the old sales stickers on them. Like you'd see like KB, like $5.99. I had a few that had the green Hill stickers that would say like whatever, or like 2 for $4 or markdown. It was so cool. But Hills was an old department store. I don't know much about it. I believe, like I said, it was just a regular department store, older one that didn't survive the onslaught of Walmart. So one of the first to go, I believe, too. And they might have been either like a New England more based one or even a Midwest one. I'm not sure, but you've never been or even heard of one.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, so there's no point in really going on any further if we both have limited, but somebody out there might. And if you do, let us know. Give us a comment and let us know more about Hills that we don't know. Here's number 10, Tim. FYE.
Yes.
FYE. Now, this used to be wall-to-wall sound video. You remember that?
Yeah, they have that in the mall, too. FYE, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's still there, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah. If anybody, any of our Binghamton watchers or listeners or lookers know, is there an FYE still in the Oakdale Mall? I believe there is. If there is, let us know. But FYE, Tim, what do you know? What do you like about FYE? I'm losing my voice over here. What do you like about FYE?
They started having the first store to have like the T-shirts and the toys. It wasn't just music and videos, movie and music. They started having the merchandise and all that kind of crap. That's why I liked it.
Okay, could you find some like hard to find stuff or exclusive shit there?
I don't think exclusive stuff, just cool stuff. Just
cool shit.
Like I remember, like they had like cool Simpsons T-shirts.
That's right.
Cool band T-shirts.
That's right.
They kind of come like all the early toys, the early figures, maybe even the McFarlane ones in the beginning.
I think you're right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Like Spawn and all them. Yeah. FYE is cool, but FYE still, like I said, I believe FYE is still around. So we won't spend too much time because I think there's some real cool nostalgic old ones coming up on here. So Tim, number 11 is Circuit City. Wow, dude. Now you remember the one that was up here in the Vestal Plaza there. Now, was there a Circuit City down in the city itself?
Yes, there was plenty of them.
Oh, there were a lot of them.
Well, was never a fan of that store.
No,
it always to me seemed it was discombobulated a little bit.
It did seem like things were a little
shady.
Yeah, a little shady.
It always seemed a little shady to me.
Yeah, you want to know what I remember about Circuit City? Remember when we were talking about the Star Wars trilogy on VHS?
Mm-hmm.
I found one there, the one that I didn't open. That's where I found one, and I bought it, and I kept it sealed. And this one had Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and Yoda on it.
Oh yeah, that was the re-release one. Yeah,
the re-release, but that's still worth some money too. That's still worth some money.
I have that too. Yeah, I have that one too.
Yeah, that's worth about $1,000. But yeah, I found it there, and I was so happy when I found it there. And I also bought a video camera for one of my ex-girlfriends there. And, it's too bad that she didn't fall and smash her head open with it. But that's okay. But Circuit City, like you said, was a little shady.
You have to text me now the name of the girlfriend.
I definitely will. And do I know her? You might. You definitely know her relatives. So, yeah. You're
good enough. Good enough.
I wasted a lot of time. A lot of precious time on this one, and it was fucking all for nothing. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. I don't give a fuck. So anyway, Circuit City not only seemed shady, but like you said, seemed like kind of out of sorts. There really wasn't a collective like business plan. They just kind of floated around, and like this guy would be over here.
There was merchandise on the floor. Aisles all mixed up as shit. At least the one down here was like that.
No, it was like that up here because one guy One minute he'd be trying to sell these old people a washer and dryer, then the next minute he'd be trying to sell a kid a Discman. So it's like, it just nobody stayed in their departments. Their deals were kind of shitty. Like you said, their merchandise looked like it was always like knocked into. So it wasn't really a great place. And I have no doubt. I mean, I'm sure there's more corporate fiscal reasons why it failed, but this place was all fucked up. I'm not surprised it failed in the least. But let's move on from Circuit City to the Italian Oven. What?
What the hell's the Italian Oven?
I've never heard it. I thought maybe it's when Terzio farted in a small room, but I've never heard of the Italian Oven. Have you?
Me neither.
No,
I bet they got lots of gabagool.
They got the gabagool, and they probably have
the sfogliatelle and
the sfogliatelle. What about the buffalo mozzarella?
And the mozzarella and the whatever else they got there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm over it. So number 13. Oh, this is lucky 13, Tim. Are you hoping? You ready?
Fingers crossed.
Let's see what we got. Kaufman's.
Oh, heard of it? Never been in there.
Kaufman's was in the mall. It actually replaced one of the other stores on this list. I won't say who it is now. I'll mention it when we get to it. But Kaufman's is right there on the end by Wegmans. It pointed to Wegmans. And this is a pretty ritzy place when it first came up.
Really?
It actually turned into Macy's.
Okay.
Kaufman's was a chain from PA and down that way, like Virginia and Ohio. Very, very wealthy family. It was a pretty ritzy store, and I remember going there a few times. Didn't buy anything there. Was unimpressed, of course, but yeah, Kaufman's replaced the prior anchor, which will be on this list, but they were replaced by Macy's, and Macy's lasted a few years, but not real long. But Kaufman's, nothing to speak about. Upper, your upper shelf, like it's a little more ritzy, a little more expensive. It's where like your real estate agent aunt would shop and, get the matching earrings with the scent and Martha Stewart and, all this shit. So whatever. I mean, another rip-off department store. So we will move on to Lucky 14. And Lucky 14, Tim, is Aladdin's Castle.
Oh, never been there.
What, Tim?
No.
You've never been to Aladdin's Castle?
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen one either. I remember the commercial playing like at night, but I don't remember ever going there or seeing one.
Dude, there was one in the mall.
I don't remember that at all.
It was way down. Was
that before my time?
No, dude. It was during your time.
Really?
Yeah, this is where like all the drug dealers and the shady guys would hang out and sell you the marijuana, and like it's where you go to find a loose woman. Maybe it was a kind of a shady place, but they had cool video games. I remember playing the Royal Rumble there. I remember playing WWF Superstars there. It was kind of cool. It was cool. Aladdin's Castle. It was obviously a nationwide chain, but there was definitely one for years, dude. In the corner, in between the Bon-Ton and Sears, I believe is where it was. So right on the edge of one of the entrances. So
I really don't remember. That's so weird.
Right across from a bank, I believe. So, Aladdin's Castle. That was cool. Cool little nostalgic. And they actually had a better logo than that. Like the old logo was like Alibaba looking. Like it was kind of cool.
Is that why I don't remember it?
That could be. Did you go to arcades much? Or?
Oh, I loved arcades.
Oh, I can't believe you guys never went to this. I think you did, Tim, and you just don't remember.
Was it just not called that yet? I mean, it's an arcade.
Oh, it definitely was.
That was next to the pet store?
No, this was down directly across.
I remember the arcade next to the pet store.
Maybe that was what it was. Maybe you know what? That was where Aladdin's Castle was.
So
it was, dude. You're right. You're right.
Maybe I just don't remember the name then.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly where it was. Yes, that's exactly where it was.
Yeah, the pet store. Yeah, okay. Maybe I just didn't know the name then. I never knew the name.
Yeah, and you know why you didn't? Because the way the font was, it looked hard to read.
Yeah, I think
that's.
Never remember. I remember we called the arcade. Let's go to the arcade.
Yeah, I think that's why they simplified the logo, because it was like I said, it was all like Alibaba looking, like Middle Eastern writing looking, but it was actually English. So, not to offend anybody, but I hope to. Anyway, number 15 on our list, Tim, is Tim, it's here.
I love KB.
Oh, dude, how great was KB Toys?
KB was fantastic.
Oh, it was so good, dude. It had like all those long aisles, and the shelves went like 10 feet high, and you could always see like the wrestling ring or the G.I. Joe set like way up top, and you're like, Mom, I want that. And she's like, no, you're not getting it. And I was like, yes, I am. I'll knock the whole store down if I don't. But dude, they had the dump bin in the front. Like it smelled like, yeah, it smelled
plastic balls.
Yes, it did. It smelled just like plastic balls. Oh, Tim, that's so great. That is so great. That's exactly what it smelled like. Oh God, it was so fun.
And they had the bin with the robots that used to walk and the dogs that used to bark by themselves, and
they'd all be out there, and like by the time like we would get there or something, like they'd all be like going,
yep,
or the monkey would be like ching, ching, ching.
And so they have the charger going out there and rewinding their asses.
Exactly. And like, dude, all the employees looked like they just did not want to be there. It was so fun. But dude, do you remember how fucking big the fucking aisle of wrestlers were, dude? It was the whole fucking, dude. It was so great. It was so great, especially the LJN era. Like, I just remember walking in there and like, I fell right in love. I'm like, oh, I never want to leave here. This is the greatest place ever. Yeah, Raul's got a fond memory. He says, KB, we're awesome. Had a lot of different toys, and you love it. Raul, of course you did. Raul, it was the one of the greatest single places a child could go to. Raul, how old are you, Raul? Do you know how old Raul is?
He's my age, I believe.
Okay, so he's right around our age. Good. Raul, are you 45, 46?
I believe he is.
He'll answer us. But dude, KB was so great. 48. Whoa, Raul. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, KB. And dude, remember when we're old enough to probably remember when it was called KB Toy and Hobby Shop. You remember that?
Yep. I remember that.
Dude. And it had the little toy soldier like on the front. Oh man, it was so fun, dude. Man, these kids just don't know. Kids are almost ripped off because of Walmart killing everything, dude. Like really a lot of childhoods were ruined before they even started. Like these kids didn't have the joy of shopping around at different places. They didn't have the joy of being to walk into like a fantastically colored and lit place like KB. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's unfortunate, dude. Like, can you imagine if we took Jax and Nick back in the day, if we had a time machine and we could go back and visit all these places? Imagine these fucking kids would freak out, dude. They would love it so fucking much.
They barely had Toys R Us time.
They didn't, dude. I mean,
Toys R Us is gone now.
They were like midgets when Toys R Us was around, and then it's gone, dude.
Yeah, it's
just gone. It's terrible. But that's where we at now. That's 15. Here comes number 16, Tim, on the list, and we are at the Big K. Whoa, the Big K. I don't think there's a person in the United States of America that either doesn't know or hasn't been to Kmart. Do you?
That's just Kmart, though. Yeah, the Big K is Kmart.
Yeah, it's Kmart. It's Kmart.
Kmart's around, though.
There are. Yeah, there are. No, there's not, Tim. There actually is only one Kmart left, and I believe it is in Miami, Florida.
Really?
Yes, I looked. I would like somebody to fact check that, but I believe that I saw something the other day that said the last Kmart is in Miami. I believe no more are operational. Hi, babe.
I thought there were a couple left.
No, there were. Okay, so the Sydney one closed 2 years ago, I remember, because it closed right before COVID, and my boss bought a bunch of fixtures from there. The one in Oneonta closed about 8 or 9 years ago and turned into a Dick's. The one in Binghamton and Endwell respectively closed, I believe, 4 and 6 years ago. The Endwell one closed first, and then the Binghamton one closed later. But yeah, dude, it's Kmart was like the rise and fall. It was fun going into Kmart. They had great toys. You could find like cheap shit. It was just so much fun.
They did have a bad toy section though.
Did you think so?
I thought so. I thought their toy section was always terrible.
It could have used a little work, but
you might find the occasional treasure.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it was pretty shitty.
You know what I found at the one in Sydney when it was in the first location, not the where it was and then went under, when it was right in town, where the James Way was.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yep.
I actually found the British Bulldogs, LJNs there. Weird. Yeah, really weird. But yeah, that's Kmart. Yep, Kmart. And of course, remember some Kmarts had a cafe. They had a giant like garden landscape section. They had Kmart Automotive. And for a while there, they ended up having like a small grocery section. You know what I mean? So you could get a lot of stuff at Kmart, you know, even if you were miserable. So so anyway, that was Kmart. Here's number 17. I don't know this one at all, Tim. Do you have any experience with this?
Media Play?
I've never even heard of it. Have you?
Never even heard of it.
I have no idea what it is. So guess what? We're going right to 18. 18. Oh, Models. You got to know this one.
Oh, of course. I was a big Model guy.
Now, Tim, tell me something. Are there any Models left down there?
None. All gone.
Really? They're all gone?
All gone.
Wow. Now, how long has that been in your estimation that you kind of recollect?
Before COVID.
Before COVID. So Models was unfortunately a casualty of the scourge.
Yep, it was.
I mean, what was left of them, I should say.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I want to.
That's where I bought all my sports shit. All my sports shit.
At Models.
I probably spent thousands of dollars in that store.
Wow, dude. I've been to a Models once. You want to know what I bought there?
What'd you buy?
Knee pads for when I was a wrestler.
Nice.
I actually found red and blue, like different, like a pair of red and a pair of blue, beautiful knee pads that I used because they were trace and they were really, really good. And I remember I found them at Models, I believe in, I want to say like down by the city, but wasn't in the city. Maybe like Westchester or Rye or something like that. I'm not sure, but it was down that way. But yeah, Models.
I got a cool story.
Yeah, give me a Models story. Let's hear it.
It was me and Ed. Bruce Springsteen concert, MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
Might have been Old Giant Stadium. I don't know which one it was.
Oh, Meadowlands, nice.
Either way, it doesn't matter. We're walking to meet. Everyone was tailgating. Me and him had to stay because we had work. So I walk into the parking lot to meet, Sam and all those people. And a guy stops us. I had a Yankee shirt on, the famous Yankee name and number shirt. And he goes, "Hey, man, where'd you get that shirt from?" I was like, "Models?" He goes, "Can you prove it?" I go, "No." He goes, "You have a Models card?" I go, "Yeah, the rewards card." I whipped it out, showed it to him. $50 gift card. And he said the same thing. Whipped it out, $50 gift card. I go, "Oh, yeah, my name is Art Modell. That's my dad. It's my store."
No.
Swear to God. SN.
Are you serious?
Ask Ed next time he's on. The guy's like, "Yeah, I'm Rob Modell, Bob. I don't know. He wasn't Art Modell, obviously. He's like, "Yeah, I'm something Modell. It's my store. $50 gift card for both of us.
For both of you,
just for having the card."
No shit, dude.
Yep, it was pretty awesome.
You know what I remember about Models was he was on Undercover Boss, and
really? Was he?
He worked at one of his stores, and he didn't realize how hard these people worked. And dude, he gave like all these people raises, and he did all this nice stuff for them. And dude, it was really cool. He was a really cool guy. So that corresponds with your story, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Ed, like, holy shit, we came to fucking a concert and got $50.
Got $50 from the Models. Raul similarly has a nice tale. Models is my favorite place to buy sporting goods, regular clothes that I liked. Also used to buy my sneakers there. Now I'm having a hard time buying sneakers. Raul, I buy a lot of mine on Amazon when I do buy them, and I find it. I know what size I am and know what I like, and I get them, and they work out good. So
Amazon.
Yep. Amazon has just about anything you want. So anyway, Models, that's number 18. Number 19. There it is, Tim.
Montgomery Ward.
Do you remember it?
I remember that one very well.
Nice, dude. Now, Montgomery Ward, as I said, was gonna plug into everything I was saying about Kaufman's and Macy's. Montgomery Ward was the original store there that became Kaufman's and that became Macy's. Cool story.
That was the store where you didn't want to go though. Like your mom was like, "We're going to Montgomery Ward." Like, oh fuck, really?
Yeah. And they wanted to look at everything and talk to every salesman. You want to know what sucked about Montgomery Ward? They had this credit line, like it was almost like like they had their own credit and they'd run it. Dude, you couldn't buy a pack of batteries with the credit because you would get denied every fucking time. Like, remember one time I had no debt. I'd paid off a couple of loans. I was like 25 and I had really good credit. I was almost paid off of my truck. Like I paid my insurance. It's nothing like the sleaze I am now. And dude, I had great fucking credit. And all I wanted to buy was this $850 stereo system. Marked down, by the way, from $1,400. And he's running the credit. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're ineligible." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait a minute, dude. You said payments were like $40 a month." I said, "I could give you half of it right now." Dude, he literally folded the paper up, handed it to me, turned around, and waited on another customer. Like, that's how much of a dick he was. I wish I could remember his name, man. I hope he got hit by a car.
There you go.
But anyway, that's number 19, Tim. We are at the illustrious 20.
Do it.
Any clues or any ideas or any guesses of what it could be?
It's not A&W, I guess.
Guess it's not A&W. I guess we're disappointed. We saw KB. We saw Kmart.
I'm trying to think. Any other cool restaurants?
Blockbuster. Yeah, we saw Chi-Chi's. We saw
like a Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers still has little outlet places though.
Yep, they do. Popeyes is still around. Arthur Treacher's, or maybe it's Arthur Treacher's.
I don't know. I'm ready. Let's see.
Well, let's see. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the big reveal for number 20 on our now defunct retail list, and it is Radio Shack, Tim.
Oh, let me tell you something. You know why I didn't think of Radio Shack?
Why is that?
I fucking hated Radio Shack.
I wasn't a giant fan of Radio Shack myself. I always found that they either didn't have what you wanted or what they did have was shitty.
Yeah, they had the worst shit in there.
They did.
None of that shit ever lasted or worked.
The tape decks ate tapes. The speakers used to blow. The amplifiers never used to work. The headphones sucked. Even their store brand batteries sucked.
Yep.
Like
I'm surprised they even lasted as long as they did.
I am too, dude. Because even the little like those little monitor TVs they had that everybody thought was so cool, they sucked. But just I don't know, man. I'm not surprised at all Radio Shack went under. I'm really not. And I know it's a nostalgic kind of thing. I know it's cool that they're part of pop culture history, but I'm not surprised at all because some of the chuds that you would see working there, you're thinking to yourself, how the fuck did this guy get a job trying to sell me stereo equipment? This guy couldn't fucking sell a picnic to an ant colony, and fucking he's sitting there behind the counter trying to sell. Jeremiah, what Jeremiah say about Dick's and Modell's? Here we're
and Sports Authority out of business.
We're gonna get.
Dick's was more for hunters and shit like that.
It was in the beginning, yeah, but now, I believe that when it finally expanded. I hope I don't lose you. No, I didn't. When it finally expanded into the bigger sports arena, I think it just axed everybody out. But Tim, what's a fun fact about Dick's?
I'm not going to go there.
other than the size.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's too easy. I don't know. What's a fun fact?
A fun fact about Dick's Clothing and Sporting Goods is that the original first retail store of Dick's Clothing and Sporting Goods still exists on Court Street in Binghamton, New York. Really? It's the small little store there right on Court Street down from McDonald's. It's the original, and it's still there.
Nice.
Yep, it's still there. And that's the original. That's where it started in Binghamton. Dick started over there. A lot of people.
We used to go there all the time, but it was mostly hunting and.
Yeah, it was hunting and fishing
and weird sports. You get your field hockeys, your
lacrosse, and
they very rarely have. I'm like, can I have a Yankee shirt? No. Can I have this? No.
They sure do now. Like if you go
Maybe
there,
now they do. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go like in Binghamton, that's all they have is Yankee and Mets shit. I was gonna actually look for a hat. I wanted an Eagles or a Maple Leaf hat, or even like a Bruins hat or like an Islanders hat or something. But they only had like Rangers, and the Rangers hat I would have bought, but it was like a shitty Rangers hat. I didn't want it. Like I don't know, it just didn't grab me.
Okay,
didn't grab me. No, but Raul, you're right. Woolworths, that's a blast from the past. They actually had a distinct smell. The lunch counter, I remember the one on Court Street. Here we go again. Had a distinct smell to it. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that too.
Yep, and there's probably Woolworths all over down there by you, Tim. Like a couple anyway, in the city.
Are there any Woolworths left? That's a good question.
I mean, they're not now, but back then probably you.
Oh yeah, they were everywhere back in the day.
I was gonna say they're probably in every fucking corner, like in every borough. Like
I had one in Woodside that I used to go because they used to have, like you said, a weird, obscure store.
Yeah,
I bought the Sergeant Slaughter Triple T tank GI Joe set when that's where I found it.
You found it at Woolworths?
In the window, I'm walking by, and there he was, Sergeant Slaughter in all his glory, and the Triple T tank and GI Joe. I was like, I'm fucking buying that.
That's awesome.
I ran all the way home. I got whatever money I had hidden, and I was like, "Yep, let's go. Be back in a minute."
We're getting it. I'm getting it. Jeremiah actually said Dick's put Modell's in the Sports Authority. I used to shop at the Sports Authority down in between Scranton and Allentown. There was one like on that 476 on the Turnpike, and there was one in Allentown also. But I'd never heard of them until I went down that way. Did you know about the Sports Authority?
Yeah, they're down here a lot. There's a lot of them down here still.
Are they still around?
Yeah, they're still around.
No shit. Cool. I didn't know that.
Well, the one on Jared, the one on Northern Boulevard's still there, or is that a Dick's now? That might be a Dick's now, actually.
No shit.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think that's a Dick's now. I think we went to get Jack's his cleats for football.
Okay.
And they were terrible.
Dick's is just. I mean, it's appropriate name for the people that work there because they're fucking dicks.
It's true.
You know, they don't want to help you. They don't want to get into anything. It's not fun, dude. It's not fun at all. Tim, what did you think of our trip down memory lane of Retail Pass? That was pretty fun. Am I right?
You know, I like to go down memory lane all the time.
I love it. I love it, dude. It's so much fun. And for people I like that we did more vocal representation of it because a lot of people, from what I'm hearing, especially from the boss, is that we get listened to in podcast form quite a bit more than we get viewed video form. Actually,
nice.
We're downloaded quite a lot.
Does that mean we're ugly?
I'm wondering. I mean, I think that's the roundabout way of saying, like, you know, we don't want to see you guys. We want to hear you.
You guys are ugly. Stick to the audio version. Okay.
Stick to the audio. But hey, it doesn't matter. We're going to be here both ways. But no, the boss told me that a lot of people hear us in audio format. And so I wanted to include more descriptive detail of what we're doing. So that was why it's kind of nice with the slideshow, where you and I could picture what we're talking about, but we could also explain to people, and it would give them that vision in their head. So they had to use their own imagination for what we're talking about. So I'm pretty wicked fucking smart for doing.
Pretty fucking smart.
Wicked fucking smart. Raul, the only sporting goods store left is the Paragon on 18th Street and Broadway. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Tim?
No idea.
No, I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of the Paragon. But Tim, we've done a good hour and 18. How do you feel about tonight's show?
I'm digging it.
I'm digging it too. We're gonna definitely do more of these deep dives into pop culture past, and we're definitely going to be expanding and doing more stuff with the A2Z program. Actually, what we're going to do, Tim, is I plan on the summertime. I plan on traveling a little bit more, and I'm going to get myself one of those handy dandy YouTuber friendly cameras, and I'm going to make some A2Z on the like AZ out and about videos that we can show here and share about. So what I want to do is I want to coincide some of this stuff with your trips up here and my trips down there, because I want to start doing that again too. And we can do all sorts of cool little nostalgic little jaunts, and I can edit little videos together. We can take people on our travels. How fun will that be?
We should do a Tim Rescues Arick from Bushwick series.
We should.
Tim Rescues Arick from Bad Neighborhood series.
From Bad Neighborhood. Oh my God, dude! You remember where I was?
Oh, I know. There's a murder there every day, dude.
All the text said was, "Get back on the train now." It wasn't even. And stupid me stopped off and had a beer. I went into a store and I'm getting looks, and it's like you're like, dude, get out of there. Just get out of there now.
Leave.
If I could have picked the worst place, that was the worst. And I understand why now. All the funny looks I was getting, dude, I was like, they're like, nah, you need to leave. But yeah, we need to do some New York City videos. We need to do some upstate videos. We're going to do all sorts of different travel videos, and we're going to highlight certain places we go to. Of course, we're going to crack wise and make some jokes. And actually, we're going to have a cameraman, Tim, so we don't even have to operate it. We are going to be the personalities, and the cameraman will be capturing everything we do. So we're all we're going to have to do is be assholes like we always are.
I love it.
It's going to be fun. Tim, speaking of going to be fun, what is going on this week in Pop Culture Pros? What do we have to look forward to after today?
What's today, Friday?
I think today's Friday.
Today's Friday. I'm totally lost, dude. Tomorrow we have nothing.
Oh,
nothing. The day off.
Great. That's great.
I
think it is.
That's Sunday, however, if we can get it together, our good friend Ashley over at Skyline Reviews, in honor of the NFL draft, we're going to do a Disney character draft.
That's right. That's going to be fun.
It's a lot of fun. Because like I brought up, do you split up Chip and Dale? Do you break up Huey, Dewey, and Louie? We don't know.
We don't know.
To find out. That should be fun if we can get that together on Sunday. We're waiting for Ashley to see what she says. Sunday night, I believe we also have Empire 161, our Yankee show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Ed and Brunhilde, right?
Brunhilde, you are correct.
Yep.
Monday night is Jason will be back with 00 Deep Dive, also with Ed and with Ginny.
With Ginny.
Tuesday, these two guys once again will be back for the Just Too Sweet show. 78 as we creep closer to 100.
We are, Tim. We are approaching the milestone.
It's going to be awesome.
We are going to be the second show to do it too.
I think we'll do a little Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash preview, and we're also going to start discussing old NWA classic pay-per-views.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We basically stuck to a lot of WWE, a couple of WCW, but I really want to talk about some cool old school Road Warriors, Clash of Champion type shit.
Like with the Midnight Express and
Midnight Express. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Tim, your Jim Cornette is the best. And dude, that's what's so amazing is you were never a fan, but you do Cornette, Dusty Rhodes, all these guys.
I might have to bring Dusty back for that.
You might have to bring Dusty back for that.
I'll bring Dusty back.
And but dude, yeah, like I said, there was Starcade. There was the
Clash of Champion, all that stuff.
Clash of Champions.
Like I said, you were smart enough to watch it back in the day.
Yeah,
I was not. I was a WWE guy through and through, so that looked like smoke-filled room minor league bullshit to me. But now you realize that was actually really cool wrestling. So I want to start watching a couple pay-per-views of that. Arick, I'm going to leave it up to you to pick which one we watch because you are the connoisseur.
I will find us a perfect starter point for the NWA. Now, as it rolled on more, because Starcade was the original one. Then you had, like you said, Clash of Champions, but you also had the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup. Listen, dude, the Great American Bash was from the NWA.
Yep,
and that's
Great
old
American
too.
Bash. And some of these,
old too.
Which one? Clash of Champions was free, right?
That was free.
And WWE never gave you a free pay-per-view.
Never gave you a free pay-per-view. Clash of Champions was always free on TBS. And also they would air NWA had a bunch. They had the Power Hour. They had NWA World Championship Wrestling, which was Saturday night. They had Worldwide, and a lot of times on Worldwide on Saturday mornings they would revisit like 4 or 5 matches from Starrcade, from the Great American Bash, and they'd have Jim Cornette. He'd come out, and Tony Schiavone, the Horsemen were always, dude. It was so great. And
that's why I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
Because it'll be my first. Because we usually do stuff that I've already seen.
Yeah.
This will be shit I haven't seen yet.
No.
So I'm looking forward to dropping some. You said some old school NWA classic pay-per-views, and we can talk about that.
Yeah, and it's a whole new world for you, dude.
Exactly.
You are going to be so thrilled to see how many guys were there and then went to WWF with different names, different gimmicks, total different everything. Like
I can imagine.
I used to love, like, because everything was pre-taped back then, both of them. And I would love, like, when they would tape like 2 or 3 weeks out and like a guy on the NWA say like, okay, I'll give you an example. In 92 or 93, 92. I remember watching the NWA or the WCW main event. It had Vinny Vegas and Big Sky versus 2 whoever guys. That was Sunday. And on Monday, I saw Kevin Nash as Diesel on Raw. Like, that was what was so great about all this stuff. You would see literally the same guy and the same weekend on opposing programs, like Luger or like Dusty was on a couple. Dude, it was so fun, man. And that's what I miss about it. But okay, so we're gonna revisit some old NWA pay-per-views and shows.
And I recommend, Arick, if you can catch up on the Stone Cold podcast.
Okay.
Bubba Ray Dudley was very good. I have a lot more respect for Bubba Ray Dudley. Let me tell you something right now. I really, really do.
Chris, the butcher that works with me at the store, raved about that episode.
It was great. It was a great episode. He's very articulate. Loves the business. He's very straightforward. Him and Austin have a good time. What's up, baby? All right, hang on. I'm gonna say 1 second. Yeah. So it's worth watching. It's a great episode. And next week, Cody Rhodes on the Stone Cold podcast already.
No shit. So
that's gonna be interesting. I'm waiting to hear if he's going to admit what he did to CM Punk and AEW, and we'll get some bottom of the line what's happening with that situation. Cool. So that's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I usually put it in the books. Usually. Our flagship shows. Starting that other New York team that plays baseball with the blue and the orange, followed by usually Granny's Peach Tea. Wednesday, that's our comic book show with Ed and Jason. And I usually
let me correct you there. It's the comic book TV show. They don't really discuss comic books.
Not comic books, comic TV, movies, all that kind of good stuff.
I think it's great. But I was a little upset that they didn't do comic books themselves, which, you know what? That's a deep, deep, deep thing to get into anyway. But yeah, no, it's a great show. That's Ed, Jason, and is Agatha on that one too, or no?
No, nobody. It's just them two now.
It's just them two now.
I think Tony quit. I don't know where he is. He's been gone, that guy.
That's right, Tony.
Yeah. Also Wednesday, by the way, which is May 4th.
Yes.
It's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
I will be live on Shooting the Sith page and on popculturepros.com page.
Really?
At my boy's tattoo shop. Getting Star Wars tattooed.
Three Kings?
Yes. In Greenpoint, Brooklyn, baby.
Oh.
Anybody wants a Star Wars tattoo or knows somebody wants a Star Wars tattoo, you're more than welcome to come down. Three Kings Tattoo, Manhattan Avenue, Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to reveal the sheet of tattoos you can pick from probably the night before. And then, come on down. They're going to have costume contest, prizes, guys in costume. I'm going to be interviewing as many people as I can for the show, for Shooting the Sith, for Pop Culture Pros. I will be getting tattooed. I'm going to film it.
Dude, that's going to be so awesome.
I can't wait for that. I absolutely can't wait.
That is going to be so awesome. I can't wait for it either. Wednesday night?
Well, all day Wednesday.
All day Wednesday. Awesome. I'm gonna stream it on my phone at work. I don't care.
Yeah, all day Wednesday I'll be down there doing that. I told them I'm gonna come hang out. I'm taking a day off of my job to go hang out with them and work that. So that's all day Wednesday. Great. Thursday is Doctor Strange. So I don't think anyone's doing anything Thursday because the big Doctor Strange movie comes out.
Yep, Doctor Strange. So, well, is Ashley doing Skyliner or is she going to Doctor Strange?
She's probably doing Skyliner, probably Thursday.
Okay, so we'll have the Disney show.
I don't know if she'll be swayed by Doctor Strange, but we'll probably have Ashley do Skyliner views. And then Friday, we're off next Friday. This show is off.
We are off next Friday. We are taking next Friday off because we need to rest and we need to gather our wits about us because a week after that, Tim, is the 50th episode of this show here. And it's going to be awesome. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be awesome. We're going to start a little earlier, Tim. So eat your Wheaties. We're going to start a little earlier. We're going to go a little later. We're doing it. We are going all in, all out. It is the Arick extravaganza. It's going to be Tim-rific. You like what I did there? You like what I did there?
I like it.
So yeah, that's what's going to happen. And we're, like I said, we're going to have giveaways. We're going to have quizzes. We're going to have games, dude. I'm going to have guests coming in and out of here. We're going to have guests coming, popping in and out. If you want to, then listen, Tim, I'm putting it out there right now. If any of you out there, whether you watch this, listen to this, whatever, send me a message, send Steve or Tim a message. It doesn't matter. If you want in, you can come on for a few minutes and jaw jack with us about anything you want. I don't care. You're invited. Everyone's invited. I don't care if fucking George Washington wants to come on. I don't care if Vladimir Putin wants to come on. I don't care if Mahatma Gandhi wants to come on. I don't even know. They're probably not even alive. But Putin's afraid of us. He don't want no part of this. Kim Jong-il or Un or Wan or whatever his name is. King Jong, whoever the North Korea guy. Come on. Hey, you know what? Show us you're all right. You know, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. You want to be on the show, Kim Jong-un? Be my guest.
Hey, Daddy.
So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the A to Z program. That was a great show, Tim.
Yeah, buddy.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody over here. I appreciate everybody who's listening. And all I can say is, may the 4th be with you next week, and do not forget to take revenge on the 5th. I'm Arick Zant. For Tim Tabala, this is the A to Z program. We are closing out. Goodbye, good night, good luck, and I hope you win the Powerball.
Daddy?
Someone won already.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Well,